Hi, this is Mary from Second Time Tech, and today I am going to talk a little bit about my new computer build. And it's going to take the place of two of the computers that I have at home. It's going to take the place of the one that's in my den and the one that's in the studio here. So I'm going to try to make something decent that I'll be able to do both on. So what I started off with was I started off thinking that I needed to get a really decent processor. So because they're a little bit less expensive, I decided to get the Ryzen 7 1700. And there was a reason that I decided that one over the 2700. And this was one of the reasons why. And it is because of this motherboard, which is the Asus X370 Pro. Now, the reason why I got the Asus Prime X370 Pro was because of this, which is my memory. And I've had my memory for a little while now, and it's quite expensive. This is the Corsair Vengeance LPX 3600 megahertz. And I paid a little bit extra whenever I bought it, and I knew that it worked on some motherboards back whenever I got my R5 1400. So I thought I'd be able to upgrade my systems with this. Well, when I started looking around and looking at all of the motherboards and all the stuff that they checked whenever they were checking the memory, well, the manufacturers were checking the memory for their motherboards, it seemed like Asus stopped at this one. So anything that's higher than this, like the Strix X370, they did not check this memory. The Crosshair 6, they did not check this memory. Any of the X470 motherboards, they did not check this memory. And since this was the highest one that I could get that goes with this memory, and it was a pretty decent price, I decided to go with this. And when I decided to go with this, I said, well, since I'm going with this and it's last generation, then I'm going to go with this, which is the 1700, which is last generation. I figured it would be at least as good as the 2600, so I was okay with that. I know it's a 8 core, not a 6. I know it's a little bit slower, so that's why I'm guessing maybe around the 2600. And whenever I factor in all the things that I have, then it made sense because of this, which is quite expensive right now. And it just kind of made sense for me to get these two in order to work with this. And what I got to put it in is a Roseville Culligan case. The case is very nice. It has a tempered glass panel on the left and the right side, and it also has it on the front. Now, the thickness of that is the thickest I've heard of so far, but I mean, I haven't heard of everything. It's 5 mil thick, which is very thick glass. And the way that they're able to have the glass on the front is, if you see this right here, that there is a 1 1/4 inch opening on the side, and it's on both sides, for the fans to get air to come in. Now, it comes with 3 120 millimeter fans on the front, And it also comes with one 120 millimeter fan on the back, and they are decent fans. So when they went on sale for 114, I said, not bad, $70 off, and it has a good airflow. It's not the best, but it's got a good airflow, and it will accept liquid AIOs. I think it's 240 on the top and 360 on the front, if I'm not mistaken. And of course you can put a 120 on the back if you want, or probably on the top if you want. And that's what I was looking for to start with, and for something to expand into later, in case what I got doesn't work as well as what I think. Now, what I got for the cooling is this, which is a Cooler Master Liquid 120. Now, I know it's only a 120, and I know that everybody is saying that you need a 240, but this CPU, the 1700, is only a 65 watt CPU. And if you get the 17X, it's a 90 or 95 watt CPU, if I'm not mistaken. And then the 1800X is 105 watt. Well, I know this will do fine on a 65 watt. I'm going to try to overclock that to the maximum of or to the equivalent of a 1700X. So I'm hoping this will do. It does have two fans, so it's better than just the single fan units. So it does have the push-pull configuration in there. And like I say, I'm really hoping that that'll work. But if it doesn't, there is a 240 one that I want to try. That's not a bad price. It's I think it was about $40 more than what I paid for this one. So we'll try that if we have to, but I'll keep an eye on what I'm doing and the temperatures that happen whenever I'm doing it's mostly my video editing that takes a lot of power. So that's why I found my R5 1400 wasn't really cutting it, because it was actually overheating on the cooler that it came with. And so I went, well, let's get something better. And then I know that one has a better cooler in it, the 1700, but I thought maybe I'll just go like one better, maybe. Like I say, I'm not 100% sure, but maybe it's better. But I'm going to do some testing to check and see. And of course, I will let everybody know. And the other thing that I have is this right here. And this is my new, let me see, it's an NVMe drive, and it's a Kingston one. It's called the KC1000, and it's not as fast as the Samsung Pro or Evo, like the 950 or the 960 or the 970. It is not as fast as those, but it's still fairly fast. It's up there. It's what's it, 2700 megabytes and on the read, and it's 1600 megabytes on the write. But the reason why I got it mostly was because of the longevity. This one has a total bytes written of 550 terabytes before the life expectancy is over on this. And I thought, well, that's pretty good. So I looked around, and some of those other ones that I was talking about aren't that high. So I said, well, okay. And this isn't as expensive either. So I said, well, okay, I'll sacrifice a little bit of speed for longevity. And the other thing is that I have a SSD drive that solid state drive that has, let me see, 3 years of use as a boot drive right now on my system in the den. And I checked it about a week ago, and I thought, okay, well, let's just see how well it's doing. So I checked it, and it came up with the saying that it was 99% good. And I went, yeah, right, 99% good after all this time as a boot drive, and mostly having all my programs on there too. I went, I don't think so. I better put another piece of software on there and find out. So I loaded up another piece of software, tried it out again, and it came up and said it was 100% done. 100% good, 100% good. I went, okay, one of them's wrong, and my guess is the second one's wrong and the first one's right. So after 3 years of being a boot drive, my SanDisk drive, 256 gigs, is still 99% good. If that's the case, this one's going to last me a really long time. It's got a 5-year guarantee on this one, but it'll easily give me 10 years. I am positive on this. So I just wanted to show you the stuff that I'm going to be putting into my case there and starting to build. So I'm just going to stop it here now, and I'll add a piece on to the end, and I will show you my system whenever it's ready. See you then. Well, I'm back again, and just trying to finish off this video. I didn't get quite as far as I was going to, well, I was planning on going to be. That's because I changed a few things around and decided I'd just take a little bit more time. So I'm going to finish this one off by showing you a little bit of stuff that I've done so far with my computer build, and then I will finish it up over the weekend, and I'll put up another video on Tuesday. So this one will go up tonight, which is Saturday, and should be all done on Tuesday, and I'll be probably running off of it when I'm showing it to you, and doing the audio and the video editing whenever we're done. So as you can see, I had said that there was 3 fans in it, which there is 3 fans in it, but those are not the 3 fans that came with it. These are the fans that came with it right here. Now these fans are the 12 volt DC ones, and they have, I told you they had blue LEDs, and I didn't really want blue, so I decided to take them out and replace them with those ones that are in there. And the 3-pin or the 3-wire fans, they're the 12 volt DC fans, and these ones here are PWM fans, and they've got 4 pins on them, and that's pulse width modulation. And with the pulse width modulation, you get better speed control. So I thought, well, I do have a few of them fans, so I said, well, I'm going to use those ones. And because I like them more, and also because my color scheme for this is actually just white and black. I didn't really want to go with any colors. I just wanted to have like a nice little light white hue on the inside. So I do have an RGB strip, so I'm going to use that, and I'm going to put that in there and set it up to be white. And the little cooler master on the block for the CPU, it's going to say cooler master in white also. So I thought, well, that'll look probably all right. I never ever thought I'd be ever doing anything with RGB, but I guess I never thought I'd ever be doing anything with water cooling, but there's my AIO. So I guess I'm doing a few things that I never thought that I never really even thought of before, but didn't think I'd be doing anyway. What I had done was I was going to put the AIO up here, but it looked kind of weird, so I ended up putting it on the back as like an exhaust fan. So it's just going to exhaust everything out the back. Any air that's in there, any heat that's in there, it'll exhaust it out the back, and then it should be exhausting air out the top also. Now, one thing I had said was that you could put a 240 on the top and then a 360 on the front. Well, I was wrong. You can put a 360 on the top and you can put a 360 on the front. So it makes it even a little nicer. So if I do have to go with the 240, I'll have plenty of room on the top there to put it. So that's really nice. Now, another thing that I had done was I wanted to show you, well, I shouldn't say done, I should say what I want to show you was a little bit more about the front of the case, because it is glass on the front here, and you can see like right through it. But I don't know if you could see it last time, like that big spot that's in between the glass and the front of the fans, because the fans are all the way back here and the glass is all the way here. So you've got that 1.25 inch spacing between here, which is where all the air comes in from the fans to supply air to the fans whenever the case is all closed. And that's what supposedly makes it a good case for being able to get rid of heat. That was one of the things that I was looking for. It wasn't exactly the case I wanted, but it had decent reviews, and it was, like I said last time, fairly inexpensive. So I thought, well, what the heck? But of course, this is probably the most expensive case I ever bought too. So there's a lot of firsts for me going on here. Anyway, I wasn't going to really talk a whole lot on it. I've got the CPU, the AIO in there. I've got the motherboard in there. I swapped the fans around. I connected the motherboard to the case. And I took the case apart like 3 times. Took the motherboard out twice. And I guess that's pretty much what I did today on it too. I just wanted to make sure everything was set up in there right instead of having to go do it again after. So I guess that's all I have for now. Like I said, whenever I have my video up on Tuesday, then it should be all put together and should be hopefully glowing with a nice little light colored white light in there. But, well, we'll see. We can always hope. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. And if you like the video, please hit the like button. And if you did subscribe, then you'll be able to see more videos of my channel. Well, of course, that makes sense. And I do want to wish everybody a wonderful day. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Bye.